Welcome to the 2020 State of the City. We're happy to have you here. We were just treated to, and my script says treated, and it really was a treat. We were just treated to a performance by Eugene Bhangra. The group, Eugene Bhangra, was founded in 1998 by Sat Pavan Kaur Khalsa. The group was started to bring cultural awareness to the local community. It is composed of people from all over Oregon with the goal of celebrating diversity and sharing the traditional dance. Please join me in appreciating their opening performance. We will see them again later this evening. I am joined on the stage by Mary Lucy Venice and members of the Eugene City Council. As I introduce the members of the council, I'll ask them to stand one at a time. Emily Simple from Ward 1. Emily is the only slug queen on the council. And as like most slug queens, she has many talents. Gourmet cook, quilter, musician, artist, so forth. Alan Zelinka from Ward 3 is ill and wasn't able to be with us. And we're sorry he's not here, but glad he kept his germs at home. Jennifer Ye, Ward 4. Jennifer has a background in a neighborhood organization activity. Mike Clark, my favorite conservative on the current council, Ward 5. He's also my ally in advocating free parking downtown, which we haven't succeeded at yet. Greg Evans from Ward 6. The best dressed counselor, usually, and current president of the League of Oregon Cities and a board member of the National League of Cities. Claire Syrett from Ward 7. Longtime supporter of unions. Chris Pryor, Ward 8. Chris has a long background in public service. He was on the school board for a long time before joining the council. And now I'd like to recognize members of the executive management of the city of Eugene. And again, I would like people to stand so that people can see them when I call their names. First, Sarah Baydari is manager pro tem. When John Reese retired with rather short notice, we were really fortunate to have Sarah, who is talented, experienced, and qualified, and knows the city and the staff very well. Assistant City Manager, Christy Hammett. Interim Fire Chief, Chris Heppel. If anything catches fire, he'll be here. Next one, who is? Central Services Director, Mia Carriaga. Planning and Development Director, Denny Bro. Public Works Director, Matt Rodriguez. And the one with the longest title, Library, Recreation, and Cultural Services Director, Renee Gruby. Police Auditor, Mark Gessner. And then it's not on my script, but I would like the other members of the city staff who are here to stand all at once. The ones who saw to it that this event happened and did all the arranging. They all stand, please. Now I invite any elected and appointed government officials, and it says here, and dignitaries, so you know whether you're a dignitary or not. But would the elected and appointed officials and other dignitaries please stand? And on behalf of the City Council, I would like to thank the members, the volunteer members of our boards, commissions, and committees who serve usually without much recognition, but they give us advice. And I think some of them are in the audience. If you're here, would you please stand and let people see who you are? And thank you for your service. I know you give a lot of time, and you don't all get to be on TV all the time. Now we will see a video presentation of some of the accomplishments of the city. We know there are many problems, but there are accomplishments too. We will now see a video.
Many changes to our city, and as a community, we continue to meet new challenges with creative solutions to make Eugene a more resilient, safe, and welcoming place for all. Our resiliency was tested in 2019 with winter snowstorms that left more than 18 inches of snow in the valley. Trees and power lines snapped, plunging thousands of people into darkness and blocking roads. First responders, including public works and utility crews, worked around the clock to clear roads of snow and debris. Following several years of active winter weather, Public Works now has added 4 additional plows to its fleet. In addition to preparing for snow, Eugene Springfield Fire led a project to reduce the risk of wildfire in the South Hills. Working with Northwest Youth Corps and the Oregon Department of Forestry, teams removed dead and down materials to reduce fire risk and improve safety. Community safety remains an ongoing focus for Eugene. The City Council dedicated $8.6 million for 18 months of funding to stabilize public safety and emergency response services. Additional funding added officers and a new street crimes unit, which launched in mid-March. This is addressing and solving problems throughout the city, including targeting drug crimes, illegal firearms, and human trafficking. In addition, community safety funding allowed the police department to hire 4 new community service officers who can now respond to more non-emergency calls for service. Community safety funding also added capacity to our emergency shelters, supported programs to get teens off of the streets, and continued the community court program that connects nonviolent offenders with social service providers. In June, the City Council passed a community safety payroll tax ordinance that will provide ongoing, sustainable funding for citywide public safety efforts. The payroll tax is expected to generate $23.6 million annually to provide faster, more efficient safety responses, to deter crime, connect people to services, engage and help at-risk youth, support more investigations and more services, and add jail rules to hold those who commit crimes accountable. The city and county continue to work together to respond to homelessness in 2019, using 10 recommendations from the Technical Assistance Collaborative Report as in Eugene. The city continues to work towards greater access, equity, and diversity in our community and organization. In July, the positions of captain, engineer, and firefighter were assigned to women on the same apparatus at Eugene Springfield Fire, a first for our fire department. In August, the city hosted a Spanish-language Fix-It Fair to serve Spanish-speaking community members. Repairs were available for appliances, furniture, electronics, home and garden tools, and much more. The Eugene Public Library is working to make library use even easier and more accessible for everyone by no longer charging overdue fines on children's and teen items. This change removes unnecessary barriers, particularly for families already facing financial challenges, and helps to promote early literacy and reading among all Eugene youth. Equity played a central role in this year's Climate Action Plan 2.0. The plan includes specific work the city can do to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and meet the goals of our climate recovery ordinance. An equity panel with members from 6 local organizations representing marginalized communities is proportionally impacted by climate change provided input that was included in the plan. To meet climate goals and reduce landfill waste, residents can now put food waste in their yard to pre-bin instead of in the garbage, turning waste into nutrient-rich compost. Going green also means greener ways to go. In partnership with LTD and Lane County, the city helped launch MCO, a fleet of electric vehicles that transports people through downtown for free, making it easier to eat, shop, play, and work in downtown. Getting around also got safer in Eugene. With the Vision Zero Action Plan officially adopted, street safety improvements blossomed. Infrastructure improvements like the new diagonal crosswalk on East Amazon are complete and in use, and Eugene Police's Traffic Safety Unit is now fully staffed. 2019 marked the first year of voter-approved projects from the 2017 road bond, from increased safety features and a new look for Merger Drive to the latest rebuilt section of West 11. Nearly 50 dozen roads were resurfaced in all, a new record for the city. For travel beyond Eugene, the new Eugene Airport Master Plan update, adopted in 2019, will strategically position the airport for the future, maximizing operational efficiency and business effectiveness. Plans for a new Eugene Town Square will transform the downtown parks, creating a permanent home for Lane County Farmers Market, a new city hall, and making improvements to help the Eugene Saturday Market continue to thrive. A series of public events and surveys engaged thousands of community members to develop a town square that reflects our community needs. Dramatic changes are underway along the downtown riverfront. This spring, Mayor Venice dug in on the 16-acre former utility hub and helped to get the dirt moving. Once completed, this space will be a vibrant new neighborhood and riverfront park and finally reconnect downtown to the river upon which it was founded. The community was asked to help name 3 new downtown riverfront streets, and they responded, generating 1,100 street name ideas. Using the city's new online engagement platform, Engage Eugene, community members helped to select the names for the new streets: Annie Mims Lane, Wiley Griffin Way, and Knock Knock Avenue, honoring early African American residents in Eugene and the indigenous language of the Calabooian people who first lived here. The new streets will one day lead to a renovated steam plant. This year, a local development team proposed to adaptively reuse the steam plant, transforming it into a vibrant mixed-use destination that serves as a gathering place for art, culture, innovation, and community building. Projects from the recent voter-approved Parks and Rec bond and levy began to take shape in 2019. The first bond-funded project, Tugman Park, was completed in August. Bond funding allowed recreation to move forward with breaking ground on Campbell Community Center and unveiling the final design to Apollo Fitness Center. About half of the 36 bond-funded parks projects are already in progress. Levy funds increased park safety with the addition of 2 year-round Eugene police officers dedicated to parks, 2 more park ambassadors, reopened restrooms, and additional maintenance in high-use parks. Eugene's Parks and Recreation divisions earned accreditation through the Commission for Accreditation of Park and Recreation Agencies and the National Recreation and Park Association, indicating that we meet the highest professional national standards that exist. The vitality of our business community is essential to the prosperity of all of Eugene. The city's business loan program continues to infuse critical funds to help local entrepreneurs get their start or expand and existing Eugene businesses. The program alone more than $1 million in 2019, creating new local jobs while stimulating private sector investment and lasting partnerships. Community partners working with cultural services brought together hundreds of artists in the second annual Visual Arts Week last summer. Together, they celebrated creativity through gallery, contemporary, and street art. In addition, Cultural Services' second annual Huge Fun Coffin Races was a screaming success. Thousands of spectators came out to cheer on the competition of 36 hand-built coffin-themed race cars in the Halloween-themed soapbox derby. Huge Fun also teamed up with the Downtown Public Library to transform our favorite library into a space-age laser tag arena with live DJs, retro future arcade, and light art experiences. More than 1,000 people joined in with the fun and games. For the first time in more than a decade, a new city manager is leading the charge into the new year. Mayor Vinis appointed Sarah Maderi as city manager pro tem in October. Sarah took over from longtime city manager John Reese, who announced his retirement after 39 years in public service. John's leadership was crucial in guiding the city through a major recession, establishing long-range plans for growth and prosperity, and passage of local bonds and levies worth $132 million. His focus on relationships helped restore trust and confidence in the city organization and set the stage for the World Athletics Championships in 2021. Mayor Vinis, Governor Kate Brown, and University of Oregon President Mike Schill, along with 8 gold medalists, officially took the baton as the next host city for the championships. Planning efforts continue to take shape to make sure Eugene is ready to welcome the world. It's estimated that 60,000 people will converge on Eugene and the surrounding areas to enjoy our beautiful city. There was much to be proud of in 2019, a year that closed out a decade of growth and innovation. We welcome 2020 and look forward to working together to honor our past, empower new ideas, and strengthen connections for generations to come. To learn more about how you can stay up to date and involved, visit the City of Eugene's website.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you all for being here tonight. It's really great to be back for the State of the City. It is my pleasure now to make the 2020 community, recognize the winner of the 2020 Community Award. I am pleased to present this year's Community Award to an organization that has demonstrated excellence in leadership through building partnerships, spreading education, and empowering others. Huerto de la Familia offers Latino families a place to connect to their roots and the earth by growing their own organic food, as well as education in organic gardening, small-scale farming, and small business creation. The organization began in 1999 as a small volunteer project serving 6 women in 1 garden plot. The program was expanded in 2004 and has served more than 400 community members since then. They have spent the past 20 years developing relationships of trust within the Lane County Latinx community. Huerto de la Familia helps families overcome barriers by providing access to land to grow their own organic produce. Helping low-income families overcome barriers to healthy food furthers the principles of equity and food justice, a community's right to grow, eat, and sell healthy food. With a staff of 3 and a board of 7 and support from volunteers, they bring many benefits to the community with their goals of increased health, cultural identity, leadership, and economic security for local Latino families. The organization is currently working with over 100 families at 7 community gardens throughout Eugene and Springfield. In addition to their Organic Gardens program, Huerto de la Familia administers the Cambios Micro-Development Program to assist Latino families as they start or expand their business concepts. The program includes training to develop business plans and management skills, as well as business counseling. In 2019, Huerto de la Familia was chosen to serve on the city's Climate Action Plan 2.0, equity panel with 5 other local organizations. The participation on the panel and feedback from Huerto de la Familia was invaluable, providing insight on the Climate Action Plan's equity lens, identifying opportunities and challenges for marginalized communities related to climate change, and providing specific feedback on actions included in the CAP 2.0. This past year, Huerto de la Familia also partnered with Bethel neighborhood residents and the Bethel School District to apply for grant funding through the city's Community and Neighborhood Matching Grants program. This program was established to encourage Eugene residents to collaboratively identify and actively participate in making improvements in their neighborhoods, building community, and creating connections. Huerto de la Familia applied for a grant to build a tool shed, purchase garden tools, and paint a mural above the Bethel Community Garden at Calapooya High School to beautify the space and increase visibility and awareness of the garden. This garden is Huerto de la Familia's newest family garden and the result of a multi-year neighborhood engagement process and many partnerships. These partnerships include Beyond Toxics, Active Bethel Citizens, Bethel School District, and Calapooya High School. The garden-themed mural was created in partnership with the Jordan Schnitzer Museum of Art. I am proud to recognize Huerto de la Familia for their dedicated work and to present them with this year's Community Award. Congratulations, and please come up to receive your award. That's always the way it is. Great. Congrats. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Marissa Zarate. I'm the Executive Director of Huerto de la Familia.
I'm Catalina. I'm a board member of Huerto de la Familia.
I want to thank many of the partners that make our work possible. As you heard, we're a staff of 3. We managed to accomplish a lot in spite of our small size because of the partnerships and collaborations we have throughout the community. At Huerto, we say that we're a family, and once you become part of our family, you never leave. And I want to take a minute for everybody who's part of the Huerto de la Familia family to stand. I know that we have staff and board members here. I also saw a former board member and former staff in the audience, and I just want to take a minute to acknowledge all of them. I'd like to thank the community partners that help us make the gardens possible. Not many people know this, but we don't own any of the garden space for the 7 community gardens that we run. The gardens are partnerships with the City of Eugene, Calapooya High School and Bethel School District, Willam Lane Parks and Recreation, Wesley Church, St. Matthew's Church out on River Road, and 4J School District. So I would like to thank them because we wouldn't be able to do the work we did if we didn't have access to the land that we use. And I'd like to thank the many community volunteers that partner with us for our Cambios business class. During our 12-week class, we have community volunteers coming in to each class to share their expertise. This helps provide a network to students so that when they graduate from the business class, they're ready to go out into the community and they have a network to access for help and to be a part of as business owners. Finally, I would like to say that we look forward to 2020 and seeing what new collaborations and partnerships grow. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations again, and thank you for your really wonderful community work and another photo opportunity. And now Now it is my pleasure to move on to the Bold Steps Award and the announcement of the winner. We in Eugene are creating a more livable city by balancing people and planet with prosperity. And we are here tonight to celebrate businesses that embody these ideals through transformational commitments to sustainable business practices that drive innovation in our community. The Bold Steps Awards celebrates businesses that do more than conserve resources. From policies that support work-life balance and sustainable purchasing practices to volunteer support for schools and nonprofits, these businesses inspire our community by putting their values to work with investment, creativity, and courage. To be eligible for this award, applicants must be in the City of Eugene and must be certified through Bring's Rethink Business program, which evaluates a business's recycling and water and energy conservation actions through a certification process. Businesses that apply for Bold Steps hold themselves to a higher standard in their respective industries. Before we introduce the finalists for this year's Bold Steps Award, I'd like to thank Hummingbird Wholesale, our 2019 winner. Hummingbird Wholesale continues to be a leader in turning their vision of healthy food and sustainable agriculture into transformative change. Let's give them another round of applause. This year, 3 Eugene businesses have been selected as finalists for the 2020 award. And I would like to ask representatives of these businesses who are here tonight to please stand and be recognized. Feynman Group. There you are. Marley's Monsters. And Yogi Tea. Tonight we will announce the winner of the 2020 award, but first we will show you promotional videos specifically produced for each finalist business that details the many bold steps their business is taking. The winner of tonight's award will take the Bold Steps trophy back to their business to display for 1 year, as well as receiving additional marketing support from the city. And so we're ready to roll that video.
Is a managed service provider for IT solutions, web development, and software development.
Basically, we maximize the value of our clients' technology systems.
Whether it be websites, we need a new refresh in design. Our phones are down. We're there tackling the issues.
We believe that a strong community, a healthy environment, and profit are of equal importance in making decisions. The Feynman Group is proud to be a certified B Corporation, and that was one of our first steps towards becoming a more sustainable company. But in the last few years, we have really become more passionate about sustainability and recognize how important it is.
Our fleet has been a big part of our marketing and branding and is responsible for quite a bit of our messaging out there.
We actually have a new bold step, and that is our commitment to going 100% electric-powered fleet by 2022. We've started with 2 Teslas, 1 here, 1 in Portland, and an electric-powered bike.
Our culture is a super important part of our company. Really, we are stewards to our employees. Consequently, our employees are stewards to our clients. And so getting them involved, helping them participate, I think creates a sense of unity. Gives us a collective effort that we can all work together on.
Feynman Group as a company empowers its employees through paid volunteer time to having our community outreach team.
Feynman Group really wants to foster sustainable practices, but we also want to do it correctly and efficiently. We're able to allow our employees to work remotely using Cisco, WebEx, or other collaboration tools. This reduces the amount of carbon emissions, along with it increases wellness of our employees. We're able to have employees all over the world who are all still working together, collaborating seamlessly, and working towards the same mission.
So honored that we were nominated in the first place, especially alongside companies like Yogi Tea and Marley's Monsters, who we really look up to and support.
For me, what it meant is that hard work was being persistent, just accomplishes really great things when you put your mind to it.
When we got nominated, I was really excited. I was really proud of all of our employees. It's amazing to have a company like Feynman Group who supports us and really at the core values making these differences, and we get to be a part of that and watch that grow. Marley's Monsters is a one-stop shop for all of your reusable products. We make and sell reusable alternatives to single-use disposables. Marley is my daughter. When I was pregnant with her, I made her a stuffed monster out of fabric scraps. We kept the name because it tells a story of my journey, which was developing this sustainable brand.
Really, the fact that we're producing a product here, I think sets us apart from so many businesses. Our top 3 products would be the unpaper towel, the cloth wipe, and the facial round. Each one of those directly replaces a single-use disposable product.
The eco side, the sustainable side of living is definitely trending upward, and that's very reassuring. Our resources are finite and they're not unlimited, and so we really have to take care and conserve what we have, and we need to tread lightly.
We worked with Mitra, who is the head of Envy of Fashion over at St. Vincent de Paul, and we began to come up with this whole new product line. This is fabric scrap that we couldn't do anything with. So being able to come up with the usable product out of it means that this fabric didn't go into the waste stream. It employed local people to make it, and we now have a usable product we can share and inspire others with.
It's not just important that we make sustainable products for that kind of lifestyle, we're also trying to share that with our community in terms of education and outreach. We've partnered with the Holt Center. We do classes with other like-minded businesses, workshops, demonstrations, tutorials. We get to talk to people about sustainable living and all of the really easy swaps they can make in their life to create a more low-impact lifestyle. Our partnership with the Pearl Buck Center has been really fantastic. We've gained some really valuable team members out of it.
I love it so much, and I've been working here for 9 months already. I love it. The people here are great.
People are extremely important, our customers and our employees. Our employees, I feel like we're all a team. We listen to them, we help them succeed, because to provide a place that people love to work at is like number one for me.
Sarah and Chad absolutely deserve this. This business started in their home and grew into this really welcoming and just phenomenal workplace.
I love running this business. I mean, as much work as it is, it's great to see our customers excited. It's great to see like our team build into what it is. It's great to just build something that's different and prove to people that there's not just one way to do things.
Yogi Tea, we have an authentic story. There was a person who came over from India in 1969. Yogi Bhajan, who's a teacher, lived a holistic lifestyle, taught yoga and meditation, was very passionate about eating healthy, and he would teach yoga classes, and after the class, he would serve tea.
The Yogi Tea is really birthed by a group of people looking to live that experience of consciousness. So yoga as a practice, as meditation, and then evolving into how does that play into my day and into my life. And yogi was born out of out of that lifestyle.
The business grew to a size that we were no longer able to function in our previous structure. One of the reasons we were nominated is because of our new building. We're consuming less energy. We're using less water. Something we're really proud of is we're the first lead manufacturing tea facility in the world.
For us to be involved in the Bold Steps Award and to be a finalist again this year is exciting because the more companies can be recognized for what they're doing, including us, whether it's other companies or not, the more it kind of spreads this culture throughout Eugene of businesses doing good and being recognized for that. I think it's great all around. One of the things that's key to have a successful sustainability program is to really have buy-in from everyone throughout the companies. You know, this one specific suggestion where an employee said, hey, we're using a lot of plastic bags in this recycling process, but we're throwing away these other bags that we could just reuse. The more allies I have, the more excited I am. So part of that is in creating a culture where employees feel empowered and excited to share in that sustainability passion.
We feel we have a responsibility towards people because when we look at sustainability, people just think of the environment, but we also think of people. And what's important to us is putting people in an environment for them to thrive.
What we try to create is an environment where people feel valued, feel respected, feel appreciated.
We have an annual volunteer day, and we can volunteer with Food for Lee County to help prep food packages.
In Honduras, we had a project where we built a school. We have a project in Spain where we supported an organization that created a home and a plot of land where they work with adults with disabilities.
The intention is to be of service, is to help, and also to share our prosperity.
I think it's healthy for our employees and the families to recognize that this is who they're part of. This is a demonstration of our genuine desire to be more relevant in the local community.
A business should do their best to support their people, to support the communities where we do business. We hope that that is the collective of our local Eugene-Lee County businesses.
I'm waiting for the big moment where this phenomenal award comes out onto center stage here. The winner gets to host this wonderful piece of recycled sculpture for a whole year. And the winner is Yogi Tea.
Good evening, and thank you, Mayor. Thank you, councilors, and an amazing shout out to Marley's Monsters and Feynman Group. In the Feynman Group, they said they were honored to be considered in the group with Marley's Monsters and Yogi, and the reality is we're the ones that are honored. Yogi Tea, for those who might not be aware of, we started in 1984, and the size of our company was so small that we were making our tea in barrels, and there was two people who were rolling it in barrels down the driveway and then packing it into cellophane bags. And today, we're the #1 wellness tea in the world. And you guys heard the lead manufacturing story, and that is still true today. We're still the only lead certified tea manufacturing facility in the world. So when you're out there drinking teas and making a selection, there's only one that's made in a LEED certified building. So yeah. I wanted to take a minute to acknowledge my team up here. My name is Satbir. I get to work at the company. I'm super jazzed and excited and grateful for that. And I get to work with people like the team up here. So we've got Deirdre, who was actually the employee that was mentioned, who came up with this idea where we had this process of using plastic bags those plastic bags would go into these commingle recycle bins, and then the whole commingle recycle bin would not be able to be recycled. And she came up with the idea of reusing these bags that we were already consuming and putting into the paper recycle. She said, let's reuse those. So thank you for that amazing idea. We've got Mike Lane, who is our Director of Manufacturing. So that huge facility you saw, he's the one that manages all the stuff that goes on in there every day. And then we've got Brianna, who is one of our really cool stories about just being in this community, having the opportunity to participate in all the amazing stuff that goes on. There's a food and beverage sector, which is now called Eugene's Table. Shout out to Micah and the Eugene's Table out there. So they partnered with the University of Oregon, and they have a food and beverage day over there. Brianna was a student in the master's program over there, came to our table one day and said, hey, what do you guys do? And now she is our sustainability manager, first one ever at Yogi Tea. So. Just wanted to say thank you. This is really a tremendous honor. It's without this city, without the community, without all the people who have been part of this business through the years, this would not be possible. So we're just grateful and proud and honored to be a part of this community, proud to be part of the families and the schools and the parks and all the amazing work that we're doing. So thank you, Mayor, thank you, councilors, for this honor. We appreciate it.
I want to just take another moment to thank all three of these businesses. They're all changing our community and changing the world in very distinctive ways, and I find them each inspiring. And I think it is interesting to look at the three finalists and recognize they're in three different kinds of businesses, three different business sectors, and they've each found a way to be more creative, more sustainable, to benefit our entire community in a sustainable way. And my hat's off to all of you. I really, if I could have given 3 awards, I would have, because you're really all terrific businesses. So thank you so much. And I hope this serves as an inspiration for other businesses who might be in the room tonight. We encourage all businesses to ask themselves if their business has what it takes to be a Bold Steps winner and apply for the 2021 award. Congratulations, all of you. Thank you.
Please welcome Eugene Bongra for another performance. you. Didn't you feel like taking your shoes off? I was tempted. That was very enjoyable. It's time now for the mayor's state of the city. If each councilor were to give a state of the city, we'd probably have somewhat different views. And I think that is great that we have a council with different points of view, because regardless of how you feel about any issue, probably one of us will represent your point of view. But for now, we're going to hear the view of the state of the city by our mayor, Lucy Venice.
Thank you, Councillor Taylor, and thank you, Eugene Bagram. It does really make you feel like kicking up your heels. There was a show here in the Holt Center. I'm off script here. There's a show here in the Holt Center about a year ago called Bollywood, and the MC and producer of that show talked about the reason he had created that show was because he felt the world would be a better place if we danced together more often. But what a great message, right? What a great message. Welcome to the 2020 State of the City Address. As Mayor of Eugene, I would like to begin in a serious moment by acknowledging that tonight's ceremony is being held on Kalapuya Ilihi, the traditional indigenous homeland of the Kalapuya people. The Kalapuya people were stewards of this land for thousands of years. When white settlers arrived in this fertile valley in the 19th century, they forcibly removed the Kalapuya, as well as other tribes in Oregon. The displacement and the loss of ancestral land was compounded by a loss of truth in history and of recognition of the role of Native peoples in the origins and strength of our city today. Tonight, I offer to the Indigenous First Nations people of our community, both past and present, acknowledgement of your resiliency and contributions to our community, while also humbly acknowledging what was taken from you. Today, Kalapuya descendants are citizens of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde Community of Oregon and the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians of Oregon. They continue to make contributions in their communities here and across the land we now refer to as Oregon. We express our respect to all displaced Indigenous people who call Eugene home. I want to express my gratitude to my council colleagues. Each of them is hardworking and brings their considerable talents, knowledge, and insights to do the public's work week after week. I have learned from each of them, and I value their public service. It is difficult work and often deeply controversial. The path forward is not always clear. Finding agreement on complex issues is challenging. They work their way through a constant cascade of demands with grace, respect, and dedication. On behalf of all Eugene residents, I thank you. I also want to thank city staff who consistently prepare council for discussions and decisions with well-researched and expertly prepared materials. Staff are always ready to answer questions and respond to council needs. At the top of this list is the city manager. Once again, I express my appreciation for John Reese for his professionalism and dedication to our city, and my gratitude to Sarah Maderi for stepping into her role as city manager pro tem. Finally, I also want to recognize all of the citizens who serve on our appointed boards and commissions, many of whom spend many hours in challenging meetings, reviewing mountains of material to guide and advise council actions. We have a citizen government in the best sense, and our civic life and decisions reflect that shared commitment to providing the services and infrastructure that sustains us and reflects our values of safety, inclusiveness, stewardship, and social justice. As I reviewed my blog from the past year, I was struck both by the enormity of the work we accomplished as well as the challenging pace at which things move. Many of our core concerns demand urgency. The public is impatient for solutions, and the pace of creating policy to respond to these challenges is sometimes interpreted as a lack of passion or commitment. This could not be farther from the truth. Let's take stock of the progress we've made in 5 major areas, which are among the most vital challenges of our time: climate change, homelessness, housing affordability, public safety, and economic development. On climate, Council is in the final phase of approving the Climate Action Plan, CAP 2.0, the roadmap guiding our decisions to meet the goals of our climate recovery ordinance. Built with a wide range of collaborators, it reflects a powerful commitment to equity as we seek to help our community both mitigate and adapt to climate change. The city cannot do this work alone. In 2019, members of the Eugene Climate Collaborative, which includes representatives of school districts, higher education, business, public transit, and utilities, defined their individual plans that collectively take us part way to meeting our climate goals. When Council approves the final version of the CAP 2.0 this year, we will commit to 12 additional strategies to push us farther and faster. All of them are challenging. They include decisions about decarbonization from natural gas, our rate of adoption of electric vehicles, improved efficiency in heating and cooling buildings, and commitments by all of us to reduce consumption at the household level. Reducing carbon emissions will make our community a better, fairer, safer place to live, and it will require a strong and consistent public commitment to change our thinking, our habits, and our assumptions. CAP 2.0 connects the dots. It's built on foundational agreements about how and where we grow. Envision Eugene and the Transportation System Plan steer us to greater housing development along transit corridors and investments in biking and walking options. Deliberations with Lane Transit District about bus routes, frequency, and ridership are essential first steps and not easy. All of this work costs money. All of it takes time to implement, and all of it depends on every individual's willingness to adapt. We will take time before the final adoption of the CAP 2.0 to engage the public in a meaningful way in this work and to ensure that the final plan is clear and measurable. This is the defining challenge of our time. Progress depends on courage from our leadership and from all of you. This brings me to affordable housing. In April, Council approved the implementation of the construction excise tax. For the first time, housing advocates and the building community worked together to create a local revenue stream for the new Housing Trust Fund. The city affirmed its commitment by contributing $500,000 annually. This is legacy work. For the first time, we will build local financial resources to support the construction of housing we need, supporting local developers who build housing specifically for the lower end of the market. Housing affordability is also tied to zoning and recent changes to state law. Senate Bill 1051 and House Bill 2001 reduce barriers to the construction of accessory dwelling units and open residential neighborhoods to more multi-unit housing, like duplexes. No other area that Council handles requires such a careful balancing act. adjustments to our code in order to comply with the state statute have consumed council and staff time, perhaps disproportionately to the impact of accessory dwelling units in addressing our housing shortage. At the same time, these discussions and related conversations about the impacts of multi-unit housing on residential neighborhoods expose the essential tension we face as a community. We all want to maintain the livability of our neighborhoods. And if we are committed to compact urban growth, if we truly intend to meet our climate goals, and if we intend to meet the need for increased housing for all income levels in walkable neighborhoods close to transportation corridors, then we must be prepared to invest in change. I use that word intentionally. All of this work is about investment. We will continue to invest public dollars to support infrastructure improvements and housing affordability. At the same time, we need to increase collaborative efforts between developers, city planners, and neighbors whose lives will be impacted by increased housing density. The city can do a better job of encouraging collaboration to resolve those conflicts, and we should. Along the continuum of housing demand is the challenge of homelessness. After a full year's investment in the Shelter Feasibility and Homeless Services Assessment, known as the TAC report, both City Council and County Board of Commissioners have adopted 10 recommendations as the framework for the work ahead. The plan rolls out over 5 years, requiring investment, public commitment, and goodwill. In 2020, we will establish a low-barrier shelter, implement mobile outreach teams, develop a landlord engagement program, and significantly hire a strategic initiatives manager who reports to both the city and county to ensure that we have well-coordinated leadership to move us forward. The challenge of homelessness is closely tied to public safety. For decades, Eugene has struggled with an inadequate public safety system. Again, a year of work brought council to a decisive and courageous vote to approve a payroll tax to support expansion of our public safety services. Beginning in January of 2021, the payroll tax will raise $23.6 million to support increased staffing of police officers, firefighters, 911 services, municipal court, and preventive services directed at at-risk youth. You will see and experience the difference as these funds translate into more robust and responsive services. Our aim is to create a system in which we provide services to everyone who wants and needs them. As we do that, the impact of homelessness on people's lives, on our school system, on our parks, and on our public safety will dramatically improve. At the same time, police officers, firefighters, and prevention services will be able to do more than just respond to urgent calls for service. But we're not there yet. Transitional stopgaps are needed. We have heard clearly the frustration and anger of business owners and employees who justifiably want an end to the trespasses, burglaries, harassment, and vandalism that has plagued them. And while all homeless are not criminals, nor are all criminals homeless, we do need more rest stops, car camping, and more opportunity villages and tiny homes to stabilize the unhoused. We need neighborhood watch and mobile street teams to check behavior on streets and sidewalks. We need investment, public and private, to support providers of services. Can we take a moment to acknowledge the nonprofit providers who save lives and stabilize families every day in our community? And importantly, we need greater attention to mental health and addiction services. This work is coming in 2020. The county and city are working together to envision and develop a crisis center, and Council has already approved a resolution advocating for more investment by the state in recovery services. With all of these challenges, there is also good news. Our economy is growing. Council is juggling decisions about major public investments in 3 related areas: the riverfront, the park blocks and farmers market, and a new city hall. These investments, joined by the private development at 5th Street, will result in a tripling of our downtown core. The riverfront and the downtown urban renewal districts are meeting critical development needs. The riverfront development will create 500 units of housing, of which 75 units are earmarked for low-income residents. Add to this market rate and affordable units at 5th Street and other market rate housing proposals for downtown, we will shortly have what we have always needed: a bustling, populated, busy town center that will meet both our housing needs and our climate goals for compact development. In addition, the designs for renovating the park blocks and building a year-round home for the farmers market will move toward bidding and approval in 2020. And we are finally poised to have the nuts and bolts conversations about the new city hall that will share the farmers market block and offer the possibility of a much-needed city gathering space, not just for council, but also for other public events. All of these take money. In 2020, council will face difficult choices about financing for both renewal districts. The wish list is longer than the available funds, and the conversation is likely to involve choices between delaying and reducing some elements. As your mayor, it is my job to juggle the urgent needs of the moment with our community commitment to participatory democracy. Problems are complex, resources are limited, and big change does not come easily or overnight. Public testimony can be angry and impatient. Tensions rise when we don't see a common path. Too many voices are never heard at all. So in November, I announced my commitment to fostering a city of kindness in Eugene, affirming our shared commitment to resolving conflict in ways that build rather than erode our sense of community and belonging. All of us, including me, need to do a better job of reaching out to those who come from different backgrounds and have different life experiences. Last year, I made a commitment to reach out in 2 ways, and this year I will fulfill that commitment. First, a new youth advisory board has been formed and will convene for the first time this winter. They will bring much-needed insights of the upcoming generation into our public discussions. Second, as the city prepares to host the 2021 IAAF World Athletic Championships, we do the good work we should do for our community anyway, to make investments that will stand as a legacy. My commitment to the legacy of 2021 is that we shine a light on the communities within our community, not to highlight them as different, but to recognize that cultures within our city weave a tapestry that we should daily behold and value. Last year, I committed to a goal of celebrating 20 cultures within our community by 2021. That work begins this year. We will seek, in the coming months, opportunities to invite and savor the colors, textures, tastes, sounds, beliefs, and ideas of the diverse cultures in our city that make us whole. That tapestry is woven in kindness. It begins with conversations. I hope our common legacy will be to listen to one another, to welcome the diverse communities within our community, to take pride in the abundance and beauty that is here, and to act collectively and individually to meet the challenges ahead with openness, compassion, intelligence, and courage. Thank you. Thank you so much, and I understand there are refreshments in the lobby, so please take your time to visit, say hello to your counselors, and enjoy a few refreshments. And thank you again very much for joining us this evening and for your support for the community. Good night.